Welcome to the 404. I'm Iyaz Akhtar. Jeff Bacalar is not here. He's in Texas. No, I'm not making that up. He's away on a bachelor party. So I had to figure out what to do with this empty studio. You can't see it right now, but this entire studio is empty minus me and a microphone and a computer and an ISDN line because I wanted to call up my best friend in San Francisco, at least work friend, Caitlin Petrakovitz. Hi, how's it going?
Hi, how are you? I'm good. It's lunchtime here.
Yeah.
Probably should have gotten something to eat.
You didn't get anything to eat?
I mean, I didn't. It's Bagel Friday. I had a bagel. That's good.
But it's National Donut Day.
I know. And last Donut Day, I did a really great thing. I didn't think I could top it this year, so.
Well, before we get to that, it's Friday, June 5th, and the first Friday of June apparently is National Donut Day. I wasn't aware of that until this morning. But last year, yeah, you did do something odd with donuts. What exactly was that?
Well, our editor, Kent, dared me to eat what did we end up calling it? A bagel nut, I guess. And it's essentially whatever bagel I choose with cream cheese on both halves with a glazed donut sandwiched in between. It was delicious.
It was quite a sight to see. And it definitely, I think it stopped all of the office work on Friday in San Francisco. So we all came over. I believe Nate, who was across the way, Nate Ralph, who does a lot of reviews. If you looked at all at CNET's Windows 10 coverage, you've seen Nate's work everywhere. And he took a bunch of photos testing out his Sony NX camera, and it became an animated GIF of Caitlin eating what'd you call it again? The bagel nut?
Bagel nut. Yeah. Yeah, I think everyone feared for my health that day, both mentally and physically. Someone else was nice enough to be like, hey, I have my insulin shot available just in case you go into diabetic coma.
And you didn't actually take up that offer, which I thought was strange.
No, I finished the whole thing because it was delicious.
So
it's kind of gross, huh?
I have totally failed to introduce who you are and what you do other than your name. So if you listen this far, you got a little idea of how Caitlin is. But Caitlin, who are you? What do you do? And why are you here?
I am a copy editor for CNET who occasionally writes random things for our Crave blog, which is like pop culture, sci-tech, all kinds of fun stuff.
Okay, so that's what you do. Let's see.
Yeah.
Why do I know you?
Mostly because I pestered and bothered you until we became friends.
Yeah, I used to work in the San Francisco office, and here's a boring story. So everyone turn down the volume now and then pick it back up in about 5 minutes. So I used to go at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Pacific time, I would decide to either get my second cup of coffee or get a cup of tea. A second cup of coffee if I was just completely dragging, or a cup of tea if I was worked up and angry. And a lot of times I would be getting tea. So the thing about this is that in the break room in San Francisco, we've got a barista, or they have a barista. I'm in New York now, so it's not we.
You don't have one anymore.
Yeah, I don't have a personal one that stays over in the first floor all the time. But I'd get my tea, and it would be scalding hot, as it should be. But the thing is, I didn't like getting burned, and so I needed a way. I needed a way to kind of kill time. So I started playing a basketball game because there's a little basketball game behind the security desk in the San Francisco office. I'm not making any of this up. You're like, this is CNET? Yeah, CNET's got a basketball game right behind security. And at first I was kind of fearful of doing that because I thought it'd be annoying. You're throwing a basketball behind their heads, right? But whatever. They seemed pretty cool. So I'd play a game of basketball every day while my tea was cooling. And eventually this person started pestering me about, hey, where are you going? I'm like, I'm getting coffee. I'm like, do you want to come? So you showed up. And you basically taught me to play shuffleboard because there's a shuffleboard table at the break room near the barista.
True.
Right near all the milk and the sugar and stuff on one side of it. So basically, I noticed that we'd probably get so caught up in trash talking that we would kind of turn very quickly, and somebody's trying to get milk into their coffee, and we would probably hurt them if we weren't paying full attention.
Yeah, I mean, there were only a couple spills. It wasn't that bad.
We never got sued, which was nice. And
yeah, also great. Also great.
Yeah, we never try to
I
sabotage.
must say, too, though, like, I never really played basketball. And granted, it's just like arcade basketball. But I do credit you with my second place win in the CBS Interactive Olympics for basketball.
Yeah, so
I was the... I mean, I'm just saying.
The CBS Interactive Olympics. So yeah, while you guys were all like goofing off on the West Coast, we're like doing some serious work. We got the writers like just locked in cages here. They're like veal; they can barely move, and they're
Right.
And you guys are like, well, nothing's getting copy edited because Caitlin's playing
Having
basketball.
fun.
That's what's happening.
It's very important. It was competitive camaraderie.
That sounds like a terrible reality show. Competitive camaraderie. It's like they're buddies, but they hate each other when they play sports. Competitive camaraderie coming to ABC Family.
I definitely think that show would be on like TLC or there'd be like a, I don't know, some sort of relationship twist and it'd be on Bravo.
Oh, by the way, if you do play the basketball game at the San Francisco office, just stay to the left because the one on the right doesn't keep score. They're two hoops, and the right one
That's
maxes out.
not true.
It did max out a lot
not
more.
true.
It got better?
No, it got better. It got better, and they got new basketballs. So they're not all flat, which really threw off my game for a long time. But I've almost broken 100. I got 92 like a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah, my high score
I'm improving.
My high score was 108, and that's with the flat balls back then because you could just like brick everything, right? And then on my last day,
it was so much easier.
On my last day, I'm like, I'm going to beat my score. I got 107, and I was like, son of a...
You were probably pissed.
I was like, well,
glad I
107.
wasn't there.
107's not bad for my last day in San Francisco. It's not 108. I didn't get to break it. I'm pretty sure I should have counted another basket, but whatever. You know, a basketball game behind the security desk. I got no grudge against you, except a monstrous grudge against an inanimate object.
You said to the game. Yeah, good job.
Well, you know, it subscribes to this podcast, right?
I believe it.
Yeah, I hooked that up. I made it happen. I should play back the 404.
Does it tweet about it every time that somebody like beats your high score?
Not yet. But I don't know if my high score was the high score because after it goes to 100, it just rolls over.
Yeah, and apparently they reset it or something, so I don't know.
The high score was like 47, and even if you scored over that, which I did regularly, it's like, nope, the high score is 47. 63? Nope, 47. So maybe it's 247, 147? I have no idea. Maybe it does have the ability to do that. So what we're saying is we're going to do, when I go to San Francisco in September, I'm going to make that thing tweet. It's going to happen.
Awkward.
You just didn't phrase it.
All right, I think that story was more than 5 minutes.
Sorry. So if you tune back in, I apologize for the long story because I ended up yammering too much about basketball. Anyway, we do have stories today. Not a lot of text stories. So if you want a tech, sorry, go. But there's some new stuff, and I'm sure this first thing will get you riled up because there's a variety story saying that James Bond's rights are up for grabs. The license right now is at Sony. It's done pretty damn well out there. But the November 6th Spectre is going to be the end of the multi-picture pact between MGM and Sony that has had, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall. So the rights are being auctioned off. Do you think Sony should do everything to keep James Bond, or is there like another studio that you're like, what would do really well with this? I think, I was going to say Columbia Pictures, but that's Sony. I think that Disney should get it. What do you think?
Oh my God, could you imagine a Disney Bond? That'd be terrifying.
Terrifying bad, terrifying good?
Yes. No, terrifyingly upsetting.
Why do you say it would be
bad.
upsetting?
Why would that be a good thing? Don't they
own Miramax, and didn't Miramax do Bourne stuff?
That's my point. I don't know. Bourne ushered in this like serious wave of shaky cam. Mm-hmm. Okay, it didn't usher it in, but it certainly didn't help it. And it just never sat well with me. I don't like it. It doesn't, I don't know.
I'm totally wrong,
there's some of that in the Bond movies, but not as much as like the car chases in Bourne.
Well, I'm totally wrong. Universal did Bourne Identity, so Forget that idea.
Don't give them it either.
So you
Just
think
kidding. I mean,
Universal could use them? I mean, Universal doesn't know what the hell it's doing
fine.
anyway. I mean, they've got like the Wolfman.
Does Universal also have Transporter right now?
I will look
Is that
it up.
Universal?
The
Doesn't that
Transporter?
seem like a thing they'd have?
I don't know.
Yeah, because they're making the series of films, not just the TV series. Of that.
It's 20th Century Fox. The Transporter. We suck
I'm
at
actually
this.
kind of excited to see that movie.
Well, maybe Fox should get it. They just lost. They got rid of Star Wars by selling. Oh well, Lucasfilm sold off everything. So except Star Wars 4, Episode 4. That is. Should 20th Century Fox get it?
Won't they make like 2 films and leave it hanging on a? I don't know. I don't know. I think Sony did spectacular things with it. I think that Daniel Craig's one of the best Bonds.
Well,
Which is a lofty statement.
You could
That's a
still
big
have
statement for
him.
me to
There's
make.
nothing wrong. I mean, you don't have to recast. You just if the rights just move over somewhere else, they wouldn't be like, well, we're going to reboot this again. They don't have to with Craig being so successful. This isn't like Spider-Man or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm very close to Bond. I grew up watching all the movies with my mom and dad. I have supremely ridiculous thoughts about who's the best and what types of things were what the best movies were, what the best gadgets and the villains and all of that. And I don't know. I'd rather not get too wrapped up in, oh, it's going to get sold to Universal or Disney or yada, 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 because I just want to enjoy Bond. Basically, don't screw it up. I'll be okay with whoever owns the rights.
I find this shocking, absolutely shocking, considering you pick apart like every movie ever and every decision done. But James Bond has some kind of like
I think it's because it's like my childhood bubble. I don't know. I like thinking of it in lovely, lofty terms, and dissecting it kind of ruins some of the magic. It's like Disneyland. Okay, you don't go to Disneyland and try and peek behind the curtain every instance you get. You just enjoy it for what it is.
So you're okay with James Bond just as long as it just has the regular spy opening that's awesome and a cool theme song. You couldn't care less what the studio.
That's not what I said.
You just don't want to know.
I just said don't screw it up. Yeah, I don't want to get involved in the politics of who owns what, where, when.
When was the last time there was a bad Bond movie? The Christmas one. What was the one with Denise Richards?
What?
Denise Richards.
That one's great.
The one with Denise Richards. What's that
Christmas
one called?
Jones? Oh, come on.
What was it called,
The end line of that movie is probably one of the best
Are you stalling because you don't remember
in
the title?
Bond history.
Denise Richards.
Pierce Brosnan.
Mm-hmm.
Denise Richards. Come on.
I don't remember the name.
Oh, The World Is Not Enough.
Thank you. That had a really good song, though, by Garbage. I remember that, at least. You didn't like that song?
All right. It's fine. All right, it's fine.
You're like,
whatever.
I'm not going to insult you right now. I'll do it later.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
I'm looking at the IMDb thing, and I'm noticing that there's these ads for Minions. July 10th. Did you see that the Minions packaging is all over Amazon boxes right now?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the first time Amazon has sold rights to the boxes. And apparently, like, kids around the U.S. are kind of, like, pissed because they see this Minion box. And they're like, there's no Minions in here.
Where's my Minion?
Yeah, it's an awesome yellow box. And it's got Minions all over. It's like, July 10th, the movie's coming.
They should have, like, included, like, a build-your-own Minion inside.
Just like a Twinkie with, like, potato head eyes.
Or build, like, a cardboard Minion, or, I don't know. If they're paying that much for the rights to the box, which I can only imagine is staggering amounts, then they should have, like, included a Minion.
Wow.
Or if you buy a kid's toy or you buy something age appropriate, include a Minion. No, I changed my mind. I like the Minions too, included in every box.
I get to see that for large enough boxes, it's totally done like a Minion so that you can put it on as a costume.
Oh my God, that'd be adorable.
How many that'd be so Amazon.
How many Minion cats are there?
What, the cat? Oh, cats inside the boxes?
Oh my gosh.
I haven't heard of that yet.
Yes.
It's going to be a thing
Like,
if it's not a thing. It's a Tumblr.
Yeah, right? Like, just leave your... Yeah. It should be a Tumblr.
It probably is.
Cat Minions.
Just, Minions and their cats constantly. But that's the first time Amazon's done that. I could see that doing really well because when you see this yellow box, you're like, oh, look, oh yeah, that movie's coming out. But then again, Amazon sometimes does some really weird stuff. I know with the Kindle Fire or the Kindle readers, they actually had special Kindle boxes, which basically said, steal me if you see me sitting down. Because it actually had the labeling of it said Kindle on it. It wasn't like a regular plain box. It was a special box. This is a long time ago. This is back like when the Kindle was just not ugly.
Oh, sorry.
The second gen one. You know, when it was like $350 and had a keyboard. Exactly. It elicited that reaction too by the masses.
All right.
But when it said Kindle on it and you knew it cost $350, it might as well say steal me back then.
I mean, still a Kindle.
This was a long time ago. Okay? This is like the days of 3G, okay? 3G was like the new hotness back then.
Oh my goodness, 3G.
Yeah. And it was before Retina display was even like a twinkle in someone's eye, okay? It was a long time ago. Just a little after the dinosaurs roamed the earth, and just like before Ultrabooks.
Oh, see, well, yeah, I obviously wouldn't remember that far back.
Yeah, Caitlin at the San Francisco office is the resident young person.
Actually, no. There are quite a few who are younger than me.
They brought in more?
They brought in more.
What did they just like empty out a bus?
Well, I mean, I guess. I don't know.
You're getting a lot of inner workings of CNET, by the way. So if anybody is super like enthralled with CNET, you're like a super fanboy, Dan Graziano, you should really listen to this episode. And we've
poor
had,
dang. We can't call him out like that.
We've had Dan Graziano on this show. He sits next to me in the office. He's off today. And if he's listening to this, stop listening to this. Go do something fun.
Go do something else. Didn't he have time off or something? Isn't he gone away? Or...
He took PTO, and he never takes PTO.
That's insane. Yeah.
I know. He was ordered to take PTO.
Wow.
That's the thing.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah, from home. It wasn't from the office or anything. We weren't like sick of him yet. And Dan, if you don't know Dan Graziano, he is one of the folks that does a lot of the wearable reviews, and he does a lot of how-to stuff. And we do mock him sometimes for his arm hair and his pictures of things. So he does a good job hiding that. We had a long discussion with Scott Stein about arm hair in photos. And
man, it's real rough. It's not just the hair, but photos of the hair and the wearables. Like, you guys need a cute girl to start modeling those wearables over there, because it is, man.
I don't know why we just don't have a mannequin or something. I don't know, like, just, there's
that's
no
a little
need.
Weird.
Oh, you can get a real enough looking hand, right?
That's awkward.
Now we're going somewhere awkward. And speaking of awkward, let's take a break real quick, because we got to pay the bills. We got a sponsor today. Let's take a second and talk a little bit about cars. Now, did you know that a car's value depreciates by 10% the second you drive it off the dealership lot, and that just after 1 year of owning it, it depreciates 20%? Now, cars are really expensive, and they lose value, and they cost you money every single time you got to maintain them. But what should you do to turn this asset into extra cash? That's what the team at Relay Rides is trying to do. Now get this, Relay Rides is a peer-to-peer car rental company, part of that sharing economy you've heard so much about, Airbnb and Uber. Now you can rent out your car on Relay Rides and earn as much as $1,000 per month. $1,000. Some owners earn as much as $6,000 per month. Now Relay Rides pre-screens each renter and provides car owners with $1 million of insurance coverage with no out-of-pocket expenses to you, so you can rest assured. You control when your car is available for rent as well. Now you can join this giant community of entrepreneurial car owners and turn your idle car into extra income. Sign up for free right now at relayrides.com/404. That's RELAYRIDES.com/404. That's the number, like the show. And you get a special offer for the 404 show listeners. Earn an extra $100 when you sign up today at relayrides.com/404. And back to the show. Okay, we're back. We're not talking about any more awkward, real arms in the office. Though, is there an arms race joke about that done yet? There should be.
I don't think there is. We'll work on it.
I think I'm just going to leave that the hell alone. That's enough of that. I'm going to tell me that's enough of that, me. So I saw some news about the Aquaman movie, which I'm sure you're excited about.
Oh, yeah.
That James Wan is attached to direct the movie. And I know him from Saw. I didn't know that he did Fast and Furious 7 and a whole bunch of other stuff.
That's why I recognized the name.
He did The Conjuring, which I saw, which was all right. Conjuring 2 I haven't seen. Insidious, I thought was all right. So he does a lot of Wait,
he did the original Insidious?
Insidious and Insidious Chapter 2, yeah. He was the director
the
of both
original
of
was the
those.
only one I saw.
Yeah. And so his stuff's pretty dark, and it's kind of disturbing. So he's the guy attached to...
But I guess when we saw the Aquaman pictures, those two were also very dark. Didn't we see that of Jason Momoa or whatever?
You're absolutely right. I'm just realizing...
Weren't those pretty...
They were Zack Snyder'd.
Yeah.
Remove all the color.
Yeah.
Desaturate. Desaturate. I'm yelling away from the microphone so it doesn't.
Now you want strong feelings about something. I have some strong feelings about Snyder films.
We'll get to Snyder just a second. I'm just realizing that Jason Wan might fit in the style of Snyder because it's got you got this darkness about it. And look, the Batman Superman trailer's got, the Superman Batman trailer looks so fun. No, it doesn't look fun at all. It looks like you're going to watch something really, not disturbing. What's the word for this? How would you describe those trailers? You've seen them already.
Devoid of color? What are you going for here?
I don't want to say the word dark or grim and gritty, but that's kind of what it is. It just seems...
That is basically...
Devoid of humor. That's what it seems like. It's without any okay, there's a Batman and there's a alien. We know it's silly. It's okay. But there doesn't seem to be any... It seems like it takes itself really seriously. And I don't know...
I mean, you have growling Ben Affleck. Tell me... Do you bleed? What?
Well,
what?
In all fairness to Ben Affleck, he asks everybody that. It's a very odd question. It's his new tagline. Remember when he said that in Good Will Hunting? I thought that was a weird line, but he did say it.
It does seem like it takes itself very seriously.
It verges on parody.
Yeah.
It's so serious. But yeah, Jason Wan, who I think can do a decent job with Aquaman, although that's a phrase I don't think I'll ever say again. Can anybody do a decent job with Aquaman? I used to read the books. And I mean, you could try to make him cool as anything. You got this person who can control or at least talk to sea life. And there's some monstrous things in the sea. And you think that'd be a really cool power to have. But he's constantly made fun of because he's called Aquaman. I mean, what? Aquaman, okay, what? Why?
What were you going to call him? Waterman? Seaman?
No, don't call him.
What are you going to call him?
Well, the Marvel guys have one. They call him the Submariner.
That's not better.
It's not worse. How about this? If I said
it's a worse mouthful. That's what.
If I said the Submariner is going to have a movie, would you be like, really, that guy? If I said to you, the Aquaman is going to have a movie, more likely to say, really, Aquaman.
Okay.
Are you think that James Wan could do a good job with this?
I think that his dark pedigree, I guess, could lend itself very well to, like you said, the Snyder style. I think it'll be just as grimy as that photo we saw of Khal Drogo.
I actually got...
Which I will always call him, not Jason Momoa.
Didn't you do like a 2-minute recap on Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I did. Khal is dead. Spoiler alert, if you haven't finished the first season, you're behind. Which is so sad because he was spectacular. I did a 2-minute recap, super quick, top 7 characters in the Game of Thrones universe and where they were at the beginning of this current season.
Yeah, so I've watched the first 3 episodes of Game of Thrones, and that was years ago. And then I didn't watch...
Spoiler alert, Khal Drogo dies.
I didn't watch anything until the 2-minute recap you did. And then I watched like the last
Man, you
4.
were so lost.
Oh no, I really enjoy not knowing what the hell is going on because it makes me.
Oh, that's how those of us who keep up with the show also feel.
It just makes me pay attention a lot because normally, like, if I'm watching a movie or a TV show at my home, I always have another screen up. I'm like reading other things. I'm kind of paying attention, half paying attention, and I can follow the stories. But since all these events are happening, and I'm like, wait, have they never met before? They're seeming like they've never met before. Is this a reveal? I wonder what's happening. So I don't ask any of these questions out loud. I never look up the answers. I'm just like hoping that like in 2 years I'll figure out what's happening.
Yeah.
Like because
you'll discover what happened.
I'll finally get what this previously in Game of Thrones. They're like, oh, that's what that was. Okay, finally get it.
Do you watch them with the closed captioning on?
Yes,
Do you watch the episodes on? It's so important.
Yeah, it's kind of like
not just because of their accents and weirdness, but like the captions. You gotta, I don't know. I think it really helps with comprehension because it also, when they list character names, you're like, oh, that's okay. Now I remember who that is because you haven't seen them in 5 episodes. You're like, who is this? What's going on?
Yeah, but the thing is,
why are you talking to them?
The captions don't work in the recap in the beginning on HBO Now. Do they work
That's
for you?
true.
So
no, they don't. There's no captions in the recap.
I'm watching this. I'm like glued to the screen. I'm like, wait, what are they saying? I hear like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. I'm like, what? Wait, what was that? That looked really important. Somebody put the captions on this part. So HBO, if you're listening,
I've never heard a better argument for marathoning Game of Thrones.
It's just to get through the previous.
So you
parts.
don't forget. So you don't forget what's happening. I will admit I am quite a few episodes behind right now, and I'm not sure if I want to marathon this weekend or just marathon into the finale next weekend.
It's going to be the 14th. I would know that. That was a subtle plug, which I'm making very obvious now for NetPicks. Go to cnet.com/NetPicks. That is not a sponsor. I'm being a shill about my own work here. Anyway.
I mean, if you can't hear, where can you?
If you can't what?
If you can't shill your own stuff here, where can you?
I just do it outside with the sandwich board most of the time. I mean, I have logos.
How's that working out?
Hey, look, ratings are good. Numbers are good. So I have no idea.
How do you track how many visitors come from your sandwich board? I'd be really interested.
It has a special URL. It's /netpick/sandwich,
Oh.
But
don't go there. It doesn't actually go anywhere.
Not yet, anyway. Chris, if you're listening, fix that, please. Getting very insidery today on the show. What do I have as number 3 on today's lineup? 24 without Kiefer Sutherland.
What?
TV Line confirms a spinoff of 24 is coming, and
that's crap.
And the idea is this would star a younger protagonist, not Jack Bauer. It's not going to be a young Jack Bauer. Jack might actually appear on this show. It's going to start as a limited series.
Terrible.
It's a limited series when it starts, so it's a miniseries. So
this is a horrible idea.
Okay, why is 24 tied to Jack Bauer?
Have you heard Kiefer Sutherland's voice before?
Yes.
Oh my God. No one can do that. No, it's so iconic. Okay. Iyaz was actually the one who got me into watching 24. I had a friend in high school who loved it, watched every episode. I just could never really get into it. So you actually got me into watching it all. I'm still currently in the middle of season 4 or 5. I don't know, something like that. And oh my God, I can't picture anyone trying to do what Jack Bauer does.
Well, I mean,
the American Bond. How are you going to spin off that? Really?
Well, what if it's done like the Kingsman? Like that good? You got a good spy, and you got a young spy. Do you watch Kingsman?
That's completely different.
How is it completely different?
Did you just compare 24 to the Kingsman?
No,
that's ridiculous.
I'm just saying to have a successful youth like spy character. If you're gonna have a American Bond or close to it, if you want to have a younger person, you have to pull this off really well, and that did it actually surprisingly well. Because I've watched it like twice now, and
I love that movie. That movie was great.
It's way better than it has any right to be. Okay, that movie could have been really bad. And
I went into it not expecting it to be that good at all. It was spectacular.
I saw no trailers. The only thing I saw was the lady with the sharp feet or legs on a bus ad. She has like she has swords for I guess the lower extremities. below the knee, and all I saw was like her flying through the air on bus ads. That's the only thing I knew about this movie, and I was like, oh.
I mean, I had seen the trailers and Samuel L. Jackson acting ridiculous, and you kind of go into it being like, oh yeah, haha, this is going to be a ridiculous pre-summer crazy movie. And you come out of it, you're like, holy cow, that was mind-blowingly awesome.
Well, let's get back to Bauer 24 right after another break. That's right, we got another sponsor. We'll be right back. So now we're going to talk about something I can't stand, and that's going to the post office. Okay, every time I go there, I feel like I want to rip my hair out of my head. I hope that I have a great wireless signal from my carrier so I can read stuff on the phone while I'm waiting in a long, long line. But I don't have to do that anymore because there's Stamps.com. Now, so here's the deal with Stamps.com. If you've never heard of it, it's effectively putting a post office at your home. Okay? They're not actually going to build a brick and mortar building in your home and create this highly inefficient system so you'll go crazy. Oh, no. What it is a service that you can run on your PC and Mac, and it kind of turns your whole home into a post office, and you can do this simple thing at home that you didn't think you could do. You could buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package using your computer and printer. Then all you got to do is hand in your mail to the mailman or just go drop it in a mailbox, and you will never have to go to a post office again. I will never have to go to a post office again. I've used Stamps.com so often that I don't need to know where the post office is located. Nope. Don't know where it is. Don't care where it is. Doesn't matter because it's wherever I am. Wherever this printer is, wherever the service is, I've got a post office. Right now, you can use our promo code CNET for this special offer. No risk trial plus a $110 bonus offer. Now, this includes a digital scale, which will calculate the exact postage for letters and packages, and up to $55 free postage. Now, do yourself a favor, go to Stamps.com, and before you do anything else, click on that microphone at the top of the page and type in CNET, C-N-E-T. So go to Stamps.com, enter CNET, and go try out Stamps.com. Okay, so why are you telling me that a spinoff would fail? Couldn't they find an actor, or can they not write a story good enough that you would be happy
I'm not saying it'll fail. I'm just saying that it's really upsetting they would even consider getting rid of Kiefer.
Isn't he getting a little old? He can't do. He's gonna be like Donald Sutherland running around with this beard.
Listen, Kiefer Sutherland is ageless. He's like Sean Connery. It does not matter how old he is. He will always be a badass.
No, Sean Connery's like Keanu Reeves. They both like maxed out. They're done aging.
Excuse me, Keanu Reeves does not age. Okay, I was like, where are you going with this?
Sutherland does age. He parties a lot, and it's visible. Silence. He ages a little bit more than the regular ageless people then. But yeah, he might be timeless.
I feel like he's stopped. Yeah, I feel like he's stopped aging, and he's timeless, and his voice doesn't age, so who cares?
I mean, I guess his dad stopped aging. Donald Sutherland's looked like he's been 1,000 for, 30 years now?
He's looked the same forever, yeah. So obviously he's got good genes. It'll be fine. Just let him keep going.
You ever see that video of Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland, cross-bodying a Christmas tree?
What?
There's a video of Kiefer Sutherland who is just blasted out of his mind. And somebody just like says some offhanded comment to him, and he decides to do a flying crossbody block on a tree, a Christmas tree that's like in a lobby of a hotel. It's one of the best videos ever on the internet to see Kiefer Sutherland be like, all right, and then just boom, you just see him flying. I'm gonna have to find a link to that.
Oh, now I'm totally stoked. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess as long.
Please share that. I'm totally excited to watch that later.
I mean, I can't remember exactly what he says, but he does do it. It's insane. But I watched 24 for a bunch of seasons. I'd say about 5 or 6 seasons, and then I got a little bit bored with the format because, I mean, after episode 12, spoiler, they find the bad guy. At least you think is the bad guy, and then like, oh no, he's the second level bad guy.
He's just the front guy.
He's only the second level bad guy, but he'd be the bad guy if we didn't get renewed for the other half of the season. But we wanted to make sure that you had a satisfying ending. So that's like every season though. So like I wish Fox was like, yeah, we'll give you 22 episodes, 24 episodes actually. So just
I don't know what to tell you. I'm a really big fan of formulaic television. And that sounds terrible to say, but I love it. I love it. I love shows that follow that predictable pattern. I love crime shows. You have no idea how depressed I was for days that CSI is over. Days. I'm still upset about
180 episodes of that on Hulu. Did you finish them all?
There's all of the episodes on Hulu, okay? And no, I've not finished them all.
So you got that to watch or look forward to.
Yeah, but I mean, I've seen all of them over the course of my lifetime. It doesn't make me any sadder that it's ending.
Oh, by the way, if you want to know more procedural shows, almost anything on USA, every show follows the same pattern. I'm not saying as each other, but they are pretty similar. Royal Pains is exactly, every episode is the same.
I just started that, yeah.
It's exactly
Royal
the same. It's like
Suits is good.
I haven't seen Suits.
Suits has really good dialogue.
Formula, though?
In the beginning. I guess I haven't really watched it lately.
Does it follow the formula?
Yeah, more or less.
I mean, that's the thing about USA shows. They got really good dialogue. I mean, it's
not just USA. Like, it's
specialized.
a common thing.
Psych is
The Glades
awesome.
on A&E was great. Psych was one of the best comedies ever on television. What else?
Burn Notice I enjoyed. But I enjoyed it until I saw one image on the internet that said every episode of Burn Notice ever. And then I read it through and I'm like, damn it, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
That's every episode.
Dang it.
I have no reason to watch this other than the last episode, which I know is on Netflix somewhere, so I'll watch it and go, oh.
It's just so nice to watch formulaic television. Like, it just completes itself so nicely.
It's the opposite of
today,
Game of
I've been marathoning Numbers. Love Numbers.
The CBS show?
Yeah.
Disclaimer, CBS owns CNET.
Oh, yeah, but they didn't, this is just my own personal opinion. Like, I like Numbers.
I tried watching that show for a while, and it got so bad. Because just the leaps, the logical leaps that it would make was akin to Batman in 1966. It was just like, you're kidding me with this. It was like really bad Riddler stuff.
God, it just was so easy to watch, though, you know?
Yes, it's easy to watch. That's why I watch Lifetime movies. They're really easy to watch.
Oh my God, can we talk about the Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig project coming out?
Oh, it's funny. I sent you the link and I don't know anything about it. So tell us about that movie.
Oh, I thought you knew about it. That's why you sent it to me. They had kind of joked about making and creating and starring in a Lifetime movie together. And then a billboard suddenly appeared in LA saying that it'll air, June 20th or something like that?
June 20th, a Deadly Adoption, it's called.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think everyone kind of still thinks it's a joke. Like, this can't really be happening, right? I think it was wasn't it a April Fool's Day joke or something like that?
I don't know.
I found news of the Lifetime movie made the rounds in April. Ferrell was upset the top secret project was revealed and released a statement saying it had been canceled. It said, "We are deeply disappointed that our planned top secret project was made public. Kristen and I have decided it is in the best interest for everyone to forego the project entirely, and we thank Lifetime and all the people who are ready to help us make this film." But now there's a billboard. What? Is it happening?
There's the plot here from EW in April. Wiig and Ferrell stars a married couple who house a pregnant woman, 90210's Jessica Landes, in an attempt to adopt her child. In the process, the situation spirals dangerously out of control. I mean, who doesn't want to watch that?
High-stakes dramatic thriller.
I really hope it's real. It says Saturday, June 20th is supposed to be the day.
Sunday.
Sunday.
It's a Sunday. Come on. Gotta air Lifetime movies on a Sunday.
Well, the birth of a plan gone wrong is the tagline.
Oh, God, it's going to be so good.
That's got to be amazing. I know that Lifetime did a Saved by the Bell, an unauthorized movie, which was horrible. Like, it was, horrible, like, as in not so bad you enjoyed it. It was just,
Not quite horrible enough to be enjoyed. All right.
Yeah, that's the real pull of Lifetime movies is that they're just laughable. And my favorite thing is always seeing actors in roles who are trying to break typecasting. That was always my favorite.
I think that's why, even especially if this actually airs, it's going to be spectacular. Because the two of them are going to be so seriously dedicated to their roles. They're not going to be making jokes or anything. It's going to be spectacular satire.
Yeah, as long as this isn't like Sharknado. If this is straight on done, like it's full on drama, and they just go.
I think it's going to be full on drama done.
And that I think is, to these guys, the big joke, and that would be hilarious. That there's a 90-minute
it'd be so good
piece of art out there, and I can't wait for this. I hope this is real. We'll find out in a couple of weeks. But yeah, it actually
so
says,
excited.
It says Saturday, June 20th, but the poster says Sunday.
Wait, this poster. Oh, is that why it's not going to be real? Because the poster says Sunday, June 20th, but Sunday is the 21st. It's Father's Day. In case anyone wants to remember to get a card now, you should do that. Oh, that's why it's not going to be real, isn't it? Damn it.
We'll find out. We'll find out soon enough.
Or it'll be Sunday, June 20th next year. Damn it.
We'll never know. Ever.
Oh, until 2 weeks from now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Ever. Ever until 15 days.
Ever for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long time. 2 weeks. I mean, we're going to forget all about this project. And we'll forget, and we'll hopefully find it on some kind of on-demand service somewhere so we can watch Lifetime movies.
Never forget.
Have you seen the whole Marvel Phase 2 thing on Netflix?
What do you mean? Like all the shows that are coming?
Yeah, Heroic Hollywood had this insider piece about what's coming in Phase 2 of Netflix shows. Plans 2 to 3 Netflix series a year. Phase 2 is supposed to have Defenders in 2017, Daredevil Season 2 in 2016. They said that Elektra is really happening as a spinoff of Daredevil. But then there's a whole bunch of maybes coming. Marvel's toying... Go ahead.
I just have a lot of questions. I mean, there's been talks of... Okay, well, I made a timeline, right, of how you could watch all the TV shows and all the movies in a correct-ish order of not necessarily air date, but to just get the whole stories. And there's a lot. There is a lot of Netflix properties. The question for me is that as long as Netflix TV and film are run separately, how much crossover can we really expect to continue?
Well, there are certain actors who have deals where they can be in multiple shows, not necessarily movies. I know that Rosario Dawson is the one. They were calling her like the Netflix Marvel universe has found its Nick Fury. And I was like, oh, there's a Nick Fury character? And that headline meant they had this character that can move from one story to the next. And it was Dawson's character in Daredevil. So there's a lot of these contracts that are being written for the Marvel stuff on Netflix in particular are supposed to be open to allow people to have this movement within the universe, and these stories are supposed to tie together. So you're not going to have a hell of a lot of movie tie-ins, but apparently there's a big push to get Doctor Strange on the Defenders as a cameo. Real short, Benedict Cumberbatch. I think they could get it as long as they just bring the Defenders like on the set of the movie. It's like, here, just come here. All right, just say hi. All right. What are we doing?
Stand there.
Stand in the background. Just
stay there. Don't talk.
You're getting a coffee.
Nah, you have Cumberbatch in your show. You're going to want him to do something.
He doesn't have to do much. I mean...
He's such a big draw, though, for a crowd that wouldn't normally watch such a thing.
That'd be really fun to see that. And I think he's the right casting for Doctor Strange, if I haven't said that, because that character can be really...
I think it's going to be great, yeah.
That character is not... I mean, he's eccentric and odd, and it's about magic, and it's a stretch. Just the character itself is a stretch. It's Doctor Strange. The name is just... I mean, DC's got Dr. Fate. Let's not talk about that yet. But he's got an awesome helmet. Anyway.
Wow.
He does. If you watch this show, you look at the waveforms, you'll see that at 40 seconds in, that there's actually the form of Dr. Fate's helmet in the waveform. Don't actually do that. I'm lying. I have no idea if that's the case. If it's that way, that'd be freaking awesome, though, wouldn't it?
Moving on.
So Marvel's also, the story from Hollywood also had that Marvel's toying around with having the Punisher, Blade, and Ghost Rider either on these shows in like cameos for the Defenders or their own series at this point. You think those guys would work on TV?
I'm sorry, you said Punisher, and I got really distracted thinking about Thomas Jane.
Yes.
And where he is now.
So the Punisher, where is he now?
I was like, dude, the Punisher.
Well, he was the
What is he doing now?
he was the second Punisher. The first one was Dolph Lundgren, which nobody
He
remembers.
doesn't. No.
That happened. That so happened. And then there was Thomas Jane, and then there was the third one with Warzone, whose name I have no idea what it is, but that movie was just amazing. It was like 80s violent. Did you watch it?
No.
Oh, you gotta watch it. It's like the body count's like through the roof. But that's as far as you can go. You can only kill like so many bad guys because the shows get a little bit, lame after a while. You can't have 12 hours of shootings, can you?
I mean, probably could.
I don't think Ghost Rider would work. I think the CG would look, unless they're putting a lot of money in it. Ghost Rider is a hard one. If you don't know anything about Ghost Rider, he is a guy whose face melts and he's like a flaming skull riding a motorcycle that has flames for wheels.
Wait, you talking about the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider?
I'm talking about Ghost Rider, the character, just in general, what his look is. This character of the flaming skull and the flaming bike, the flaming wheels on the bike.
Will always associate him with Nick Cage. Because the movies.
Don't do that to Ghost Rider.
I can't help it.
That's not
fair.
They
made 2 movies, didn't they?
They did. That is not fair to Ghost Rider at all.
I mean, Ghost Rider on film will always be Nick Cage. Just like Blade will always be Wesley Snipes.
I'm sure they could get Wesley Snipes. He's not doing anything, is he?
Probably not. That'd probably be really good. I'd watch that.
That would be a decent thing, but I don't know. So I guess Marvel has the rights back from New Line Cinema. Is that what happened? 'Cause that's who did Blade. Does New Line even exist? I don't know. I guess they bought back a bunch of the rights to everybody else. But Punisher, I don't think would work other than one-offs. Ghost Rider, do the penance stare with people. That's a little bit weird.
I think Blade. Out of those 3, I think Blade would be the best. Yeah. I definitely watch that.
I mean, I don't know, a vampire slaying show with the character's name begins with a B could never work.
Just saying. I think it'd be great.
As long as they don't bring back...
Especially if it was like aged Wesley Snipes. Oh, that'd be awesome.
As long as they don't bring back Steven Dorff, who was like the least intimidating...
Aww.
He was the least intimidating bad guy in the history of film. Okay? You're like, aren't you one of those like... You're one of those little fops over there, right? Oh, wait, you're a bad guy? You're supposed to be intimidating. To Blade. You're gonna kill Blade, Wesley Snipes. That's what you're gonna do. Okay, good luck taking on the Demolition Man. You got
okay. Good luck.
Steven Dorff. No, please don't ever come back. You put Steven Dorff and Nick Cage, put him away. Just keep him out of the Marvel universe. Poor Nick Cage. He was pretty good in Kick-Ass though.
Yeah.
I think he got to do what he's always wanted to do, which is be Adam West.
Yes.
And his name is based on Luke Cage, right?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's such a comic book fan. He didn't want to get known by his...
But he didn't want to be associated with his family?
Well, that's the first thing. He didn't want to get roles based on his famous family.
Sure.
He's a Coppola. And he went with Cage because he's a comic book fan. Luke Cage was the inspiration for his name, which is even weirder because maybe he should show up in one of these Marvel shows. It's just like a guy. Maybe a reporter.
I mean, I'm sure he's like trying. Yeah.
I don't know.
If he's that big a fan, I'm sure he's tried.
He did try. It was called Ghost Rider. That's why he was there. Because he obviously wanted to badly be in a Marvel comic movie. He's like, this is going to be great. And he's like, let's roll. And I was like, no. That movie was so bad, I fell asleep during it. Now, I was drinking heavily while watching it, but I've drank heavily through a lot of movies. And Ghost Rider could not keep my attention because it just was so bad. But that was a long time ago in a different Marvel Cinematic Universe. So maybe it'll be better. And hopefully Nick Cage and Steven Dorff. If you are listening to this, we have an email address. So let us know, the404cnet.com. And you can say that we suck. Well, I do. Caitlin, you didn't trash him, did you?
No, I enjoy his movies on a certain level.
I enjoy his movies too. Ghost Rider just wasn't. It's on in the continuum of enjoyment. It's on like far on the left, and the left being the bad side.
Wow.
It's true. Anyway,
they made a Blade TV series.
Who did?
It existed.
Okay, but
Blade TV series, American live action TV show existed.
Okay.
It premiered on Spike TV in 2006.
And you remember this?
Well, I thought I was crazy for remembering it, so I looked it up, and I'm not as crazy as I thought I was because it did exist.
Questionable.
It was
But
actually written. Hey, it was written by David S. Goyer.
I'm pretty sure
He wrote the
X-Men
Blade
movie.
trilogy, obviously, but he also did. He worked on Dark Knight, Batman trilogy.
I want to say I just saw a terrible movie with his name attached to it. I'm going to find it because it was just a miserable piece of garbage, and it was like on Netflix. Oh, you know what it is? Kickboxer 2. David S. Goyer, the guy that did Blade the series, Batman Begins, the screenplay.
He's also he worked on Batman vs Superman too, I believe.
Dark Knight Rises, Man of Steel. You did Man of Steel? Oh, man, no, not good. Okay.
Constantine, the latest series.
Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Yeah, so Goyer, you got your hits and you got your misses. Yeah, but I did see Kickboxer 2. I tried to watch it. It was when I was trying to pick a movie to watch. I'm like, I'll try Kickboxer 2 because it has the guy from Step by Step in it. The guy who used to live in the van. And
Nope.
never seen it.
Nope.
If you're old enough to know TGIF, it was Step by Step was basically a modern day, well at the time, Brady Bunch kind of show. Mixed family, and there was a
Oh no, yeah. No, yes. Okay, yes.
and there was like Cousin Cody's
I don't know
here.
what my brain was thinking of.
Cousin
but yeah.
Cody's here,
Yeah, I
and he
know what you're
lives in a
talking
van outside. Isn't that fun? He's fun, Cody. So Cody was like a martial artist, but the actual actor was a martial artist who did Kickboxer 2, and I don't know if he did 3, but he was in the movie, and I tried to watch it, and I saw David S. Goyer. I'm like, oh boy, I got to really try to watch this. 4 minutes later, I turned it off. So it's not a very good 4 minutes at all.
Who was the mom in Step by Step?
Suzanne Summers.
Okay, thank you.
Why?
Oh, that's what my brain got stuck on.
Suzanne Summers, Patrick Duffy. And
Oh, yeah.
one of the kids.
Oh, yeah. I used to see a lot of reruns of that.
Yeah, I
I
saw
think
it
when I was in college.
back when I was young. I saw it when it ran the first time on ABC. And that was many, many years ago. Anyway, have you seen the Bloomberg article saying that finishing your emails with best is just wrong?
Ooh, I do not like when people do that.
Well, that's too bad because I do it all the time.
It just sounds very sassy.
You think it's sassy?
Best.
Well, if you say you read it like that,
How do you read it?
best,
If you say it, how do you read it?
best.
Why are you saying best?
It's more like my best to you.
But you're not saying that. You're just saying best.
That's like saying I told you so. I mean, the word so replaces a hell of a lot of words, you know? Or if I yell happy birthday to you, I'm not actually saying I hope you have a happy birthday. I'm saying happy birthday. It's a shorthand.
No, those are terrible examples. If I say so, I'm not saying I told you so.
No. I'm saying the phrase.
I'm changing the subject.
I'm saying that the phrase I told you so. The word so replaces a ton of stuff right there. Get what I mean?
So what you're saying is you're using best as a placeholder because you don't want to write out what you're saying?
Apparently, you wrote this article at Bloomberg because what they did, they're saying if you're writing best, you're ending your emails wrong. They had a business etiquette coach, Barbara Pachter, and she said,
Yeah, that's terrible.
there's a hierarchy of closings. You can't use warmest regards. She says it's too effusive. Thanks is fine,
makes sense.
but it's often used when there's no gratitude necessary. Sincerely is just fake. How sincere do you really feel about sending along those attached files? Cheers, they say, is elitist, unless you're British, because it makes you look like you're siding with Brits.
Yeah.
Best is benign, they say. Others have called it charmless, pallid, impersonal, or abrupt. So what do you use then as a closing?
It depends who I'm talking to. Usually I use thanks if and only if I've asked for something or they've given me information that I needed. So I use it when it's appropriate. I'll be like, thanks. But more often than not, when I'm sending like inter-office emails, I don't sign anything at the end because you can see that the email came from me and I've written what I need, want, have to say. And you can pretty much figure out the rest from there.
Yeah, when I'm sending like a cold email to find out more contacts about certain sites or whatever, I'll use best at the end just because it is benign. it is tame, and there's no way on earth, I guess only for Caitlin though, that somebody takes it badly. Best, but I
don't get it. I guess
it's the fact that it cannot be misread. Because if you write thanks,
I guess I only misread it.
There's like thanks in advance I used to write, but I thought that's too presumptuous. Like in advance, as if you'll do it.
For sure.
I mean, unless it's a friend of mine, then like I really do mean that. Like, here's a thanks in advance.
Yeah.
I know you'll do it. But like when it comes to like, hey, I need to find out some information about this product. Let me know about it. But the first email has to have some kind of ending. Like it's a formal ending.
That's when I use thanks. If I'm asking for information or materials, I'll say thank you, CP. Like that's, I don't know.
That's how you read it? Thank you. Not just like, thanks.
Well, I just write thanks. There's no exclamation point or anything.
Thanks, period.
I'll be like, thanks, comma, CP.
Yeah,
So it's just an easy...
Bloomberg agrees with you. The sign-off should be nothing. Have no sign-off.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
Because that's not the way conversations happen on email. It's like...
They're continued.
I can see that. Like, anytime I see a text that has, like, somebody's name at the end of it, they're like, here's a message, the car is parked over here, love, Dad. It's like... You don't need to do that.
I can see it's coming from your phone.
Yeah, and this conversation, there's nothing that says this conversation has to end that way.
My grandma definitely does that, but it's my grandma. It's adorable. Like, that's different.
Okay, well, yeah, so they fall into a different formality. So this idea of sending without a closing, I always thought was somewhat rude to not have that, or to have that terrible signature where you're like, here's my name, here's my title, here are my 18 phone numbers, email addresses, websites, and Twitter handles, and like that looks pretentious without just having something before it. Say like,
I get it. If you're writing like a cold email to a contact or making a request, then yeah, having all of your information at the bottom makes a lot of sense, because then they can choose how they want to reach out to you in response. That's fine. I get it. But if you're sending an inner office email, I don't need to see your website, Twitter handle, office number, cell phone number, and office address. I know where you work. It's 3 cubicles down.
Somebody in particular, apparently, at the office there, 3 cubicles down would be nobody, because there's only 2 cubicles down, unless you're going 1 and over. So it's you, Nate. No, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I always liked The Simpsons, Kang and Kodos. They would always say end communication. Like, I just thought that's the way to end it.
Yeah, you can't put that in an email.
Oh, well, you can. It won't go over well. I mean, you thought best was bad. I think end communication would be worse. Or like the end. Or go to hell. I think go to hell might be worse than best.
Fin. Over.
And
like, what are you gonna... That's a good one. Start going with that. I'll allow it.
Sure. I'll my next email out to everyone, it'll be like, okay, and scene at the end there. Actually, there's
perfect.
An animated GIF there. I saw a really...
Even better. Why don't people end their emails with animated GIFs? That would be my favorite.
That's what you do.
Oh, that's why I like it.
Yeah, that's why I like my own emails. That's why you...
yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Maybe that's why you suck at emails. Maybe because you're looking at the...
Wow!
Wait, you're stepping on the line here. You're
it's going to be insulting. I'm going to continue to step on your line. That's ridiculous.
It's just that you're spending all your time in the sent email section of Gmail. That's what you're doing. You're just seeing your own emails and you're like, look at that.
Are there any other sections?
The inbox. You got to use the inbox.
People don't send me emails.
I guess not. Yeah, but so remember that if you want to get Caitlin's attention, animated GIFs is the way to go.
GIFs.
Not GIFs. GIFs.
Preferably ones from like Happy Ending. That's a great. Those provide.
That was a television show. She's not referring to the massage technique. So be aware of that. There was a television show on ABC. It was a short-lived program with.
My sorry, bad. I did mean the TV show.
Just looking out for you.
Also, cats. Anything that has a cat in it, that's also winning.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oh, you still use winning, don't you?
How I Met Your Mother. That's great. Great choice.
Mm-hmm. But nothing from Step by Step.
I mean, you can, but
you would just be like, "What is this? What does this mean?" Oh, there's a cat.
Meow,
okay,
meow,
good.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, let's talk about this real quick. I saw something on the Huffington Post, and it was this story about the headline read, "Are selfies influencing where we choose to go on vacation?" And right there, I'm like, okay, fine. You know what? You got a good headline. I'm going to take a look at this story. And it's talking about how certain hotels, there's one in particular in Paris, that'll send you around in a chauffeured luxury car that has Wi-Fi, and it'll take you to the most popular tourist attractions so you can take your pictures and you can have an awesome social media feed.
Wow.
Have you ever thought about taking a vacation solely based on the idea of this is going to get me a couple more followers?
I think I'm in the wrong generation. A lot of my friends are always on Instagram and Facebook and liking, sharing, critiquing, always judging other people's selfies and photos. And I take very few. And when I do take pictures and put them on Instagram, they're usually like of beer.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if I'd be influenced by how many likes I'm getting more than what good beer they have at said destination. So this is a really weird concept for me to think about.
Yeah,
I know social media, blah, 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 but
I couldn't see,
I've
but like,
never done
okay,
that.
this is going to be the best. I can't wait to get a picture of me in front of this stuff. That's another thing. I usually never am in my own photos. It's like, okay, I'll take pictures of stuff or other things or other people, but hardly ever I'm like, hey, look, it's me in front of something. Like,
Well, I mean, there's something to be said for putting yourself in the photo if you want to remember you being there with a certain person or at a certain place, but not selfie style. Like if I take a picture of me in front of the Eiffel Tower, I'm going to ask my friend or travel companion to take it so that you can get me with the tower and probably my cute outfit. Like I'm not going to just shoulders up and get the tip of the tower. That would just be ridiculous.
yeah, so I don't see the point in taking pictures of landmarks by itself either, by the way. As far as I'm concerned, every picture of everything has been done. So I don't need to take pictures of like, oh, look, there's the Leaning Tower. Or like, here's somebody pushing the Leaning Tower up. Like, I don't need to be the guy doing that.
Oh, I dream of someday taking a Leaning Tower picture. I definitely want one of those.
Do you have your own special pose in mind?
I'm not going anytime soon. Like, I'll think about it, but I totally want one.
You're not doing the leaning one, are you?
Maybe. Whatever. It's called the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah, well, lame. Really lame. Speaking of lame, I was
Totally lame. Totally necessary.
In tourism, I went to Chicago a while ago. I went to the Willis Tower, which used to be known as the Sears Tower. And you take this picture like on the ground floor with this green screen, and then they let you go up to the observation deck. So then you can take all the pictures you want, but you don't get to have any professional photos up there because for some reason they don't want to get, I guess, either flashes or like bad weather behind you or whatever. So every like photo you see of people at Willis Tower, unless it's like from their own iPhone, that beautiful image is usually a green screen image, which I think is such bullshit. I hate that.
That's so weird.
It's like I'm in the building. Could you not?
So can you like take a selfie when you're up at the top?
Yeah, you can take pictures over there, but I mean it's very hard to get a nice clear image. If you've ever tried to take pictures where you're lit well and there's a city behind you with a piece of glass, it's a nightmare. So it's generally very difficult to put together. So I could see why they would do that in one respect, but I just thought it was so lame because I have this picture. Actually, my mom has it. It's on the fridge of me and my brother, and I'm like, we were on the first floor. That's before we went up the elevator. That's it. She's like, it looks like you're there. I'm like,
that is a lie.
that whole thing. And I'm really glad it wasn't.
That picture is a lie.
I'm glad it wasn't wearing green that day because my son did that.
That's a great tourist tip.
My son wore a shirt that had green lettering on it, and we went to the Avengers.
And then
we went to the Avengers Station thing in Times Square. So he goes to this picture, and then I look at the picture back, and I'm like, wait a second. He doesn't have blue letters. It's see-through. It just looks blue. Thankfully, there wasn't anything terribly behind him, so it would look like it was bizarre. But if you want to be a floating head, wear like all green at Willis Tower, or Avenger Station or whatever, because it's going to be that kind of fake tourism, which I don't like.
We should just get a picture of the view and dress like the Community human, but in all green.
I would rather
get like a really good picture of the view from the tower.
And by Community, you mean the TV show? Like the Community, the Community human. Is that like a thing now? So, like,
mascot,
like the Village Idiot, because the Community. That's what it sounded like, and I was like, "Oh, the show, right? That thing that was on Yahoo."
Right? Yeah.
Have you watched the Yahoo stuff? I haven't seen it.
No, the Joel McHale show. Yes, that.
The Joel McHale show, the man who's on X-Files, coming up.
Oh my goodness, he got cast on X-Files,
and he's supposed to be some kind of television host or right winger.
Really?
You sent me the link. I read through it.
Just because I sent it doesn't mean I looked past the headline.
It's like, I thought you'd be interested. Yeah, so I looked at it, and he's going to be some kind of like right-wing political talking head on television, and he's going to somehow become, spoiler alert, an ally of Mulder somehow. So, So I wonder how that's going to work. David Duchovny.
I'm excited for the new series. I'm very excited. I have never seen every X-Files, but I am currently working through them. I'm confident I can be done by the time this one premieres.
Is that in January?
I think that's what they're shooting for, yeah.
I have no idea.
January 24th.
I have some idea now.
It's just like 6 episodes, but I don't know. I'm really excited. Like, I mean, my best friend loves X-Files. You can reference some random bitch. She'll be like, oh, the episode was called yada, 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 and it's in the 3rd season, 12th episode. And it just seems unusual to me, but I'm working through. I'm getting there. I like it. I'm excited.
I've only watched like a handful of episodes, so I'm not as well versed. Anyway, we should wrap up because this is a long episode. Thanks to anybody who's listened to this long. I appreciate that. Caitlin, if people wanted to find
Congratulations.
throw yourself a party. You did a real good job.
You made it.
Yeah, pat yourself on the back. It's us patting you on the back.
Good job. Good job.
Caitlin, if people wanted to find you online, how should they do that, and what else would you like to promote?
Online, I'm probably most active on Twitter at Miss MISSCP, my initials.
Anything else?
That's about it.
Do you have
It's just, I write stuff, but it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I heard you're reviewing a soccer ball.
I am. Women's World Cup starts this weekend, and Adidas actually has like a smart soccer ball that tracks your direct kicks, speed, spin, power, all that jazz. So I reviewed it, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Don't spoil it. You want people to click. It's at CNET.com. It'll be there over the weekend, I think.
And did I enjoy it? Question mark.
Yeah, when you see the headline, that's how you need to read it, okay? Just make sure that everything goes way up at the end. That's really...
Like a question mark?
I think my voice just cracked there. Anyway, so if you guys... We got no calls from the public this time. We got no emails other than like promo emails. Asked folks for stuff on Reddit for Caitlin to answer. They said, Happy Cake Day, Iyaz. Which I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was my cake day. And that happened. So if you want to contact us, because you're like, dude, I don't want to hear any more of your stupid stories. I want to hear my stories on the show. You can call us 866-404-CNET. That's 2638. Or you can email us the 404@cnet.com. We're on Facebook. It's facebook.com/the404NYC if you really want to type it, or you can just do the search for it. Twitter.com/the404. And there's a Reddit. I think it's easier to write the404.reddit.com instead of going /r/the404. But
yeah, probably.
It's your choice. That's what makes everything so great. It's how you type your URL.
Power is yours.
Don't you forget it. That'll do it for us. I think we're back next week with Jeff. I'm going to do everything way up high. I don't know. We'll find out. Thanks for everybody for listening, and we'll see everybody next time.
This is gold.